product specialist at FORNAV, and I will be your presenter today. As this coffee break is live, you can ask your questions via the GoToWebinar question window. We will answer them at the end of the coffee break. Today, we're going to explain how to add item tariff and weight information to your Business Central report. In the EU, there's a legal requirement to add a tariff number, HS code, item net weight, gross weight, and country of origin on the invoice and shipment documents. At FORNAV, we have made this as easy as we can with a new FORNAV Item Weight temporary table. You can add the temporary table either on the sales document header or line, and FORNAV will automatically get and calculate the weights and tariff numbers. To demonstrate adding tariff and weight information, I'm going to use these steps. Prerequisites: what do I need to get going? In step 2, I will set up the item weight table per sales header. In step 3, I will get the totals per tariff number. In step 4, I will set up the item weight table per sales line. Let's start with the first step. Today I will be working on the Business Central on-premise server with the Business Central 2025 Wave 2 release. I've installed the FORNAV customizable report pack, and I've executed a step-by-step wizard from the assist to set up to get started. I've installed the FORNAV Designer, which is part of the FORNAV Toolbox. You can download the FORNAV Toolbox from the FORNAV website. And of course, everything I do today will also work in a cloud environment. Getting a list of item tariff numbers and their weights is as easy as adding a data item to a report layout. Just add the FORNAV item weight table as a data item and set it to temporary and auto-populate. So let's go and do just that. Find my order, create a new layout, design it, and I will simply get my sales order in the FORNAV Designer. And to add the item weights on the sales header, simply add a data item on the header. And find the FORNAV item weight table. There we go. And since this table never holds any actual data, it's a virtual table, I need to set my temporary to true, which also sets the auto-populate to true. Move it up a bit. Just under the line. And then I have my FORNAV item weight in my data set. I can grab my item number, country of origin, tariff number, quantity, net weight, and gross weight. Pop them on my data item. I usually move the header down a little bit just to move it away from the footer lines above. And we will make them nice and yellow so they stand out a bit. Probably not something that customers actually want on their reports, but I found it makes for nice demos because you don't have to search for stuff you've changed. So that's pretty much it. To demonstrate, let's have a look at one of my sales orders, which I've created specifically for this coffee break, obviously. So I have a sales order with a bunch of items. And these items, if we drill down into them, these items have a net weight and a gross weight. And of course, I can load the item card onto my report and calculate the net weight and gross weight manually. But I found that using the FORNAV temporary table is a little bit easier. And of course, we have a tariff number and we have a country region of origin, both of which we want to load on our reports. And since some customers want to have the list on the header level and some customers want the list on the line level, we have done both options in the temporary table. So let's have a look at the first one, which gives us the list on the header level. And you can see that I have a list of item numbers with tariff numbers. I have the countries of origin, and FORNAV automatically calculates the net weight and the gross weight. I don't have to do any calculations or anything. I just get the amounts that I'm expecting. So that's the first step. There we go. The next step, of course, is sometimes you want to calculate the totals per tariff number. We have a list of tariff numbers now, and we can calculate the total per tariff number because some customers say, oh, I don't care about the items in this list. I just want the totals per tariff number. And we can do that with a group footer. And as always, when we use group footers, we must start by sorting the data item by the fields we want to group. So back to the FORNAV report, and I'm just going to add the FORNAV item weight table again. And move that up to above the lines. And of course, make this one temporary as well. And then, like I said, when we do grouping using group headers and group footers, we must sort by the field that we want to group by. If we want to group by tariff number, we need to add the tariff number in the sorting. And I'm going to add the tariff number in the group total fields to tell FORNAV that it needs to calculate the totals for the tariff numbers. Then I can find my FORNAV item weight 2. I recommend if you use multiple data items in the same report to give them a different name. But let's stick with number 2 for now. Let's grab tariff number, quantity, net weight, and gross weight. I'm not interested in the item this time because I am adding the totals per tariff number. Move these over a bit. There we go. Now FORNAV automatically adds a header and a body when I drop the fields on my data item. I don't want a body this time. I want a group footer because the group footer is the mechanism in FORNAV that is going to automatically calculate my totals. So I'm adding a group footer, changing the name because it always makes more sense to give these sections a specific name, and simply delete the body. And I've added the fields this way because then I automatically get the table that I wanted to use. Save me creating these tables manually. Make these green. There we go. That should do the trick. Now, every time you add decimal fields or integer fields on a group footer, FORNAV will automatically add these fields to the total fields. And the total fields is a list of fields that we want to automatically calculate. Sometimes you don't want to automatically calculate the decimal field, you just want the raw value. And in that case, you can remove the decimal field from the total fields and FORNAV won't calculate it. For now, I'm happy with this, so let's preview my report. You can see that at the bottom I have the full list of everything, and at the top I only have the unique tariff numbers, and the quantities and the weights are automatically added for me. Finally, we can get the tariff weight information per line. We can get this information as a data item or as a related record. And the advantage of the related record is that we can print the tariff information in line with the line information. What do I mean by that? Well, let's add our record first. So instead of grabbing a data item, I'm going to the list of records. I'm going to add the FORNAV item weight again. This time I need to set it up to link to a specific data item in my report because a record needs to be told where to get the base information from. So in this case, I'm going to link it to the sales line. Hit OK. And finally, I'm going to set temporary to true. Something else that I want to do this time is I want to get the country name instead of the country code. To do this, I am going to grab the country region table. I'm going to link that to the FORNAV item weight 3. I will link code to country region of origin code. And that also gives me the country region table in my report, so I can grab the country region name instead of the code. Then to show everything on the line, simply unlink this from the template. And of course, you can add this stuff to the template. Even more so, it's recommended. But for these coffee breaks, I find it's easier to just work with one of the source reports. So let's add this, all of this stuff in a nice list. To do that, I will use the curry report.join strings command, and the curry report join strings simply joins a bunch of strings together with a separating character. The first thing I need to do is set up my separating character, which is \n, and \n is JavaScript for new line. And then a comma, and then I can add all of the values that I want to add. And the nice thing about this join strings is that if the string is empty, it won't show it. So it won't show an empty string. It will just skip it in the list of strings. So the next step, let me see, is I will grab the field extensions, tariff number, and the field extensions dot tariff number will give me the caption plus the value, as long as the field has a value. So if the tariff number is empty, I'll get nothing, and if the tariff number is not empty, I will get a caption and a tariff number, which is easy. I will grab the net weight, and I will grab the field caption for country region code plus the country region dot name. There we go. Formatted automatically. So what I get is a list separated by a new line character with the description, caption and value of tariff number, caption and value of the net weight, and the caption of the country region origin code and the value of the country region name. Hit OK. Make this one blue. Now let's check in our report again, print confirmation, preview. There we go. So what we get is the description like we had before, tariff number, net weight, and the country region of origin is Greece. Let's recap what we just did. We found that we could easily add item tariff information by using the FORNAV Item Weight temporary table. When we added it as a data item under the document header, we got a list of all of the item tariff numbers and their total weight. We used the group footer to calculate the total weight per unique tariff number. We have also added the tariff and weights to the lines. We did this by adding a record, so we could use the item tariff and weight information in the existing section. Let's see, I just saw a question coming in. Can you put in the gross weight on the line as well? Yes, you can put in anything you can possibly want. So any of the fields that we have in the dataset are available. So I can add the field extensions, gross weight, and I can add the item number and country region of origin code. And I can also add stuff from the normal line. So if I want to grab, for instance, the amount, I can do that as well. So it's a great way of just joining a lot of information that you may want to view in your reports. So that grabs everything I've just added. And because in the FORNAV designer, the field is already set up as multi-line plus can grow, it will simply grow to the size of the data that I have in my field. So I hope that answers the question. I cannot see any Further questions? So let's wrap up this coffee break. If you want to know more about FORNAV, or if you want to download the FORNAV toolbox, please visit our website. If you want to install FORNAV in Business Central Cloud, please visit the Microsoft App Source, and you can watch more videos about FORNAV on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions about FORNAV, please email them to support@fornav.com. For a full list of upcoming and recorded coffee breaks, please visit fornav.com/coffee break. Thank you very much for joining me today, and goodbye.